What up? This is Landon Sworts with theepicstorm.com, and we are back with another Legacy League on Magic Online. Alright, so, little interesting situation this week. So I've had a bunch of technical difficulties over the last week. I've lost a couple leagues that I wanted to post for articles this month due to technical difficulties. I had OBS crash on me during a super hot league, and then earlier today in a league that I really wanted to use, I lost like 15 minutes of the audio. My mic was not muted, and it said that the audio was inputting, but it just wasn't for some reason, and then it ended up coming back in later. So what I want to do is I'm going to run that league back, the video of it, through my media player. Like, yeah, it's going to be like a little less pretty than normal, but I think it's pretty alright, honestly. And I'm just going to we're just going to walk through basically the plays, and then when the video kicks back up, I'm just going to switch it to, the full screen, and we'll just let the, when the audio kicks in, we'll just let that run. And yeah, so anyways, I guess let's just, let's do it. And yeah, so this is basically the functional version of 8.8. It's still in the works a little bit or whatever. I don't know if it's the official version, but Brian recently played it to a pretty successful finish. That doesn't look too terrible. We should be able to see the hand and stuff. Like, that should be fine. Yeah, he played it to a pretty successful finish for a challenge. I don't think that it's been published yet, but I'm sure it will be shortly. But yeah, I really like this list, and it feels really good. And, if you don't get caught on the lump-sided variants or, lose a bunch of die rolls and get, chaliced out just, in bad matchups, the list is pretty solid. So, here we are in game one. The opponent is on Loam, it appears. We're keeping a hand that it has some play against counter magic. We don't know really what the opponent's on, and basically we've come to the junction where it's okay, so this might not be the strongest play to have grid out. So we're gonna try to just navigate away to set up ad nauseum. So the opponent drops Oko. They make a food token. We drop our Bloodstained Mire. So we're trying to deliberate the value of Wishclaw when Oko can just turn it into an Elk versus Brainstorming. And we resolved that it would be better to have our mana open to Brainstorm than to slam Wishclaw just into Oko. I think that even in retrospect that makes sense. So the opponent creates their food token, switches their food token into an Elk. They swing across for 3. Doing the whole thing. They drop this bad boy. I'd actually never seen this card before. I think this is this must be the version of Loam, the bigger version that tries to go over the top a little bit more. I think it's a little bit newer. I haven't had a ton of reps in the past few weeks, just been super busy. It's one of the reasons that I'm actually approaching the video like this, because I honestly just don't have time to put into just grinding out more leagues. I gotta work all week, so it just doesn't seem realistic. But so once again, hey guys, thank you for bearing with me on this. But so I hadn't seen this card. It's pretty cool. At the end of their turn, we're gonna Brainstorm, and it's okay, so what do we have going on? Can we get off an ad nauseum under this? And you want to know what? It looks like we can. So basically, we're going to count up our mana, make sure we're good to go. So I drew the 2 mana cards just to try to make the flipping off ad nauseum better. Yeah, Wishclaw can get Burning Wish, but at the same time, I kind of would just rather draw Burning Wish itself, and not be flipping extra 2s, because sometimes Wish Claw can be a little mana intensive. You know, it is 3 to really get going rather than just 2 for Burning Wish. And we don't have a win condition in our deck either, so just being able to have Burning Wish is it is a little bit of a luxury to actually hit it, but that was my reasoning there. So we tap out our mana, and we throw Ad Nauseam onto the stack momentarily here. Cool. So I retain priority, and I sack LED for 3 red because I want to have mana to cast Rite of Flame and Burning Wish, to be able to fetch our sideboard Tendrils of Agony, because the opponent's tapped out, so we don't really have to worry about Veil of Summer from them in this current situation. So that was basically the line of thought behind that. So from here, it's pretty simple. We just make our mana, cast Burning Wish, Storm 9, and grab Tendrils real clean, you know? Cool, so we move to sideboard. Like I said, I didn't know anything really about this deck, and I've had a lot less time to play, so where normally I'm not really into Googling, I've kind of been doing it a little bit, just a little bit when it's like in between games, when I really like want to just make sure that I'm bordering correctly, because with less time to get more reps in like I used to, there's just, there's some things, it's like a learning curve. I just want to make sure that I'm not, boarding foolishly, just trying to be a little extra safe, more than really figure out what the opponent's on. I mean, I'm not even really truly against that. It's just that, like, genuinely, I don't really think that Googling things makes you a better Magic player, so I try not to do it, but I'm cutting myself a little bit of slack, just because less reps, like, whatever. Take the crutch. It's not a big deal. So, here's the thing. There's not too much from the sideboard guide on this new version of Aggro Loam. Well, it's not even really Aggro Loam, it's like Chalice, but it's pretty much going to fall under Chalice Aggro. And we're not playing the exact version of the deck that is referenced for the sideboard guide, so we're kind of just going to take the you can see my hand. You can see my hand there from the video cutting in a little bit. But yeah, so we're going to just take those fundamental in and outs into consideration, and kind of do similar things, cards that fill the same role. So we want to cut our Veil of Summers and our defense grids, and bring in the Chain of Vapor and Abrupt Decays. But I think that I'm like a little afraid of Mindbreak Trap, so I opted to leave the defense grids in just because it makes see, there's my hand swinging around again. That's kind of funny. But yeah, no, I decided to leave the defense grids in because there's been an uptick in Mindbreak Trap, and that's kind of something that I think it's something we should be a little bit more conscious of coming out of green decks. They're choosing to have a way to interact on the stack where normally in the past that they wouldn't, and considering how explosive the deck is and powerful Echo of Eons is, I really don't blame them. I think that's a pretty reasonable sideboard strategy for them. So I chose to respect that and bring in the grids. The opponent got out a snow-covered forest and a Dryad Arbor. We're choosing to ponder. We're going to throw this Abrupt Decay onto this Chrome Mox. And while definitely respect Mindbreak Trap, at the same time, when we're in a position where it's like, okay, we could get locked out if we don't go, you know, because the opponent could have Trinisphere, or like they could untap and drop Chalice on one. So I kind of was just like, you know, whatever, let's just jam. So we basically cast our Dark Ritual, put out our LEDs, throw down the Wishclaw Talisman, and then just, you know, jam ad nauseum onto the stack. I'm leaving one red floating again. I like red post ad nauseum so we can get into Rite of Flame and, you know, cast our Burning Wish a little bit easier to get our lethal Tendrils of Agony. The opponent, once again, is tapped out, so we don't really need to worry about Veil of Summer here, which is cool. We stop at 6, right? Out of respect for flipping our Echo of Eons, which we definitely do not want to do. And boom, we win the match. So I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to be here. We're probably going to be flipping back to the me that's in the video playing back soon, because the audio does kick back in soon. But I think this first game of this next match is still going to be me narrating. And once again, guys, I really do appreciate you putting up with this. This is going to be something I try not to do in the future. It's just like, I just don't have the time to really like grind out more leagues. I just like, I got to work all week, and to be honest with you, like where I'm at right now is on the East Coast is it's like 3 a.m. and like I got to be up. So I'm just trying to give you guys the best quality of video that I can with the circumstances. So yeah, thank you for bearing with me. Cool. So we decided to keep this hand. We're on the play, which is cool. I lost a ton of die rolls today, so being on the play was nice. We didn't know what they'd be on, but we figured, hey, if they have discard, we can, you know, protect ourselves with Brainstorm. But we see that they go Mountain into Swift Spear. So at this juncture, we're like, okay, defense grid's really not that good. So we're going to try to Brainstorm and see if we can try to set up a way to get an early Empty the Warrens line. But as you see, it looks like we're just going to be a little short of that. And we don't even really want that Veil of Summer, but hey, we have to draw something. So now we want to get rid of that defense grid, so we're going to Ponder. We don't really like what we see here, so we're just going to shuffle it. So we draw another Ponder. Makes sense to just kind of cast it and keep digging. We expect them to drop Eidolon this next turn. You know, the opponent doesn't know what we're on, so it's not like they were mulliganing for it, but generally, like, the turn 2 play to really shut Storm out of the game against Burn is Eidolon. We didn't like that Ponder, we shuffled, we got stuck with the grid again. You know, luck's not always on our side, but it is what it is. I do think that was correct. You know, we wanted to shuffle, we didn't like those cards. They hit a Flame Rift, which is going to drop us down to 14, and then they have their Monastery Swift Spear that just got pumped by Prowess, swinging in for another 2, dropping us to 12. So we draw a Polluted Delta, which isn't really the worst considering we have a Brainstorm and Shuffle effect. We choose to tap the Underground Sea because we want access to red, because we like already know that we're pretty much set up for Burning Wish. So we know that we don't want those cards. We pretty much just want to send them back. So we're going to fetch with Polluted Delta. We're going to grab Swamp. And this is really to kind of mitigate a possible Price of Progress from the opponent. We're really trying to survive as long as we can. Our hand doesn't seem like we're really going to get out of this, but we're certainly trying, right? Okay, so another Flame Rift comes down. The pretty much the same thing. Expect that Swift Spear to be following it up pretty handedly. Lightning Bolt in suit. You know, not really much we can do about it. You know, sometimes you just get burned out, right? It happens. Okay, so across the table and we drop to 1. So that polluted delta is kind of dead, but if you notice, our opponent's is at 12. So we play Lotus Petal, we go to Storm 2. We have access to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. Wishclaw was played last turn, which means that with an activation of it, we can get Lion's Eye Diamond. We can cast the Veil of Summer, which is going to bump our Storm up 1. Their life's only at 12. So at this point, this is when we realize that even though we pretty much got burned out, that we are going to be able to salvage this game. And this is cool. This is a really sweet interaction. Like, we're at 1 life, and we're pretty much just going to milk out our Storm right now. So the Wishclaw passes to their side of the table, but it doesn't matter. Storm 3, Veil of Summer. We cast Lion's Eye Diamond, Storm 4. Burning Wish, retain priority. Crack LED for black, Storm 5. Tendrils of Agony, very nice. Cool. And I would imagine this is going to be about where my narration ends. The sound will be coming back in just a second. I'm not sure if it's during this boarding process or if it's yeah, it's now. All right, guys. Thanks for bearing with me. Let's set this up for the okay, for the full screen and the rest of the video. So I don't think we really want grid or veil. I'm going to consult the sideboard guide before hitting submit, but my gut tells me this. Yeah, that's pretty much what we're doing. Similar effect. So it's gonna be a no for me, fam. Let's hit that young mulligan. I don't like that either. Roll it one more time. Oh, come on. So at this point, we're looking for a hand that can just wheel. I mean, I guess we're going to keep this one, but I don't want to. 3 cards. So 1, 2. Oh, man. Lotus Petal versus land. I think we really want an early empty, so I think as much as we don't want to be doing it like this, I think we just have to. We gotta get super lucky. And honestly, I think we gotta brainstorm, not ponder. And I think that we probably lose, but this is our best chance of winning. Because I think it's likely that basically they're just going to drop Eidolon and then we're screwed. I think that's what they mulled for. But it's not. Alright, so we're basically pondering for the kill. Which we get. Now the issue is because this is a Wish Claw line, is that we're giving them Wish Claw, which can let them get Pyroclasm. But it's kind of just like YOLO, because they've got to have enough mana to do it. And this is probably our best chance at racing, and we get it, so cool. It was actually a crazy match. For being against Burn, honestly, that was a crazy match. Cool. So we're 2-0, which is a great start. I feel pretty good about. We're going to jump back in the queue. Oh, so real quick, there's something I wanted to mention. Over on the website. So in this shop, there's actually some pretty cool stuff that we've been sitting on for a while, which kind of surprises me. So for instance, we have a ton of shirts in stock still. Like this really sick Black Belcher tee that I actually wear all the time is still in stock. I mean, it fits me great. Like, seriously, it does. And, like, it looks sweet. Like, honestly, it's dope. I think the baseball tee's in stock, too, but, like, this one's for sure in stock still. I just want to make sure we haven't been impaired. Well, we haven't. Like, this fits me great, too. And, like, it looks sweet. It's, like, awesome. You know, maybe you don't want to wear this to a tournament if you're playing Storm and give it up, but, like, honestly, who cares? And, like, if you're playing a different format, like, whatever. Like, this is the perfect kind of shirt to wear, like, a local event or something, too. Or just every day. Like, I wear these, I kick these pretty frequently in my wardrobe, to be honest with you. And I really like them. They fit good. They've held up well. I mean, I've washed mine a ton of times, and they're, like, they still look great. I'm not, like, the best at navigating the store, so excuse me. I just feel like we gotta still have some baseball tees, too. I'm not sure. You can see them here, though. They're extremely good quality. Maybe those did sell out. I'm not sure. We still waiting to be paired? Oh, no, we're good now. But, yeah, I just wanted to, you know, at least mention, you know, here we are. Like, this shirt is, like, almost too cool, to be honest with you. Like, it's super high quality, and, like, look how, I mean, it's honestly dope. So we have, like, we're still just have some in stock that they sold well, but I think, you know, we kind of just had more than, we ordered more than we should, because it seemed like there was a bigger interest in them than there was. But, like, if you haven't gotten one of these yet, you know what I mean? And, like, you know, you're looking for some stuff to get with, like, your spring wardrobe coming up, definitely just give it a thought. Because, honestly, in my opinion, these things are dope. And, like, I don't know. I just think it's sweet to support the site. It's, like, it's a really awesome resource for the community. So, you know, just keep it in mind or whatever. Not trying to be too pushy about it, but it's just I didn't realize it until recently. But we're still like we're overstocked on them still and have been. So just you know, food for thought or whatever. All right. This hand's okay. It's a little slow, but it's got some redundancy. Ponder can keep us moving. I don't know what the opponent's on. We lost the die roll. Really been losing die rolls today, but it's cool. Alright, so this might be numericals. It could also be show and tell. It's hard to say. Let's lead off with Volcanic Island because it's a little bit more ambiguous. We do like this. This is actually pretty hot for the top of our deck, considering our hand. We really would like an LED, but the Wish Claw could get the LED for us, so we'll chill with this and try to slam grid next turn. We're gonna just fake like we're gonna daze this. Alright. Slam this. We actually probably should have played our Lotus Petal so we could have veiled it. But they're going to have 3 lands next turn, so grid's marginal anyways, in my opinion. I'd rather not have their head be like, oh, we should be worried about Veil. No, don't. Maybe they shouldn't be worried about Veil so we can catch them off guard with a little bit. Okay. I kind of just want to brainstorm. We want to jam Wish Claw, but let's try to hit the land drop first. We'll play this out. Maybe we'll fight over Wish Claw because we really do need LED. Hopefully they don't Oko it. Fair enough. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7. All right. It's hard to race with goblins against Oko. Because his plus abilities just negate those effects. So we'll grab Infernal Tutor. And they're going to raise our elk with their elk. So they just decided to be aggressive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Cast Veil. That's probably good for us. All right. So we'll cast Brainstorm. And we want to try to grape shot the opponent here. Stop so we don't flip Echo. Veil, which they did have. Got him. Cool. All right. All right. So that was, what is this, like 4-color snow control? So, I think decay is sensible. I think empty the warrens is sensible. I just don't know how to make the cuts. See, because the list here that we're making these cuts for stuff from the sideboard, there's only 3 Rite of Flames. So it just leaves us with 1 card. So I guess we bring in Chain of Vapor. Yeah, I guess, but the thing is we have empty the warrens. We probably actually want Rite of Flame. Where this looks pretty sensible. I suppose we'll try this, and we'll try something different if we don't like it post-board. But this approach to sideboarding is just called trimming or whatever. I'm sure most of you are familiar with it. But I'm just not really sure. We don't want just 1 Rite of Flame in. It just is, the 1 Rite of Flame is really not that impactful. Maybe the Chain of Vapor is the right call. But I just feel like the Abrupt Decay pull more weight. This is a keep. So we could just blast with goblins with this, but we really want some way to try to protect ourselves on this combo turn. So I think we're going to wait a turn or 2 and really open ourselves up. This can find Veil. It's just mana intensive because we need to be racing Oko. And if we drop it next turn, it literally tempos out into being on curve with them dropping Oko. So I'm actually going to shuffle rather than play directly into Oko. Maybe that's not correct, but so next turn, we can either use Burning Wish or Ad Nauseam to draw counter magic and then use the other to try to win. Which if they tap out for Oko, I don't hate. If they tap out for Oko, then that means we were right about Wishclaw. Okay, not Oko. Wishclaw probably would have been alright. So we have another Burning Wish on top of the library as well, which is good to know. Just got to think about how we want to sequence this. So I don't want to hastily just fire stuff off. I want to think about how we want to do this. This will probably get countered. We're going to put black to make them think that we're going for Tendrils of Agony, because it's possible they have Veil, which means they might let this through even if they do have counter magic. And then we're just going to grab Empty the Warrens. If that's how it plays out. This might just get countered. They might have a Flusterstorm. But this is absolutely how I want to do this. If they have Flusterstorm, they have Flusterstorm. But we shot our shot. They did have Veil. See if they have a sweeper. If they have a sweeper, they have a sweeper. We wouldn't have been able to beat that Veil with Tendrils, so Empty was the right choice. That plan worked out. I feel good about that. I feel like we had a plan there. We executed it extremely well. That was good. Yeah, that was sweet. So we're 3-0. So regardless, honestly, because I haven't had much time to play at all in the past few weeks. So regardless of what happens to this league forward, I don't really care. We're 3-0 and we haven't even dropped a game. So this is great already. I feel like we've played well and we've played to our outs. And had some pretty crazy stuff happen in a few different spots. But yeah, using that ad nauseum to draw out the counter magic, sliding Burning Wish through, floating black to make it look like we were grabbing Tendrils, to make Veil seem even more enticing, but grabbing Empty the Warrens, dropping enough goblins to kill them in one swing. Pretty good. Even that game 1 against Burn, right? Where we were at 1 life. When we were at 1 life and we got him with Tendrils. Yeah. Cool stuff. Seriously, cool stuff. No complaints from me. Definitely just got a hot hand in game 2 of match 1. I didn't have any idea what I was doing against that deck, I have to be honest. I just haven't seen it. Like, I don't have reps against it. I'm playing like once a week at this point, so it's kind of tough. You know what I mean? To get my head around all the decks. Like, I try to pay attention in chats and, really pick other pilots' brains to stay on the upper edge of things. And I feel like I do an okay job of it. But it's just it's different than how I used to handle things. So, all right. Here we are going into round 4. This hand's fine. Okay. Trop, Hierarch. Alright, so maybe this is Bant, maybe this is Infect. Dark Ritual's an alright draw. Guess we're gonna ponder. Kinda gotta get things moving. Grid's mediocre. We do like the LED. The Red of Flame's nice, but we're not really set up to cast it. You know what? I don't want the other 2 cards so much that even though LED is great, I think we're going to shuffle. Watch your boy never get punished. Watch your boy never get punished. Okay. That was crazy. That was crazy. All right. Okay. Opponent's low on cards in hand. This could be the no Bant deck. I know that that's been getting an uptick in play. Okay, we shuffled. That was definitely one of the cards we saw. I don't know. If we see a Red of Flame, I'm going to say that the shuffle mechanic didn't work. Okay, so it did work. And we got a payoff spell now, too. I think for what our resources are, Grid's a little slow. I'm going to put back one of the brainstorms. And I think we can brainstorm at the end of their turn off of Volcanic Island and hope to hit another land so we can have double Veil up. Okay, so this is Infect. Yikes. Oh, snap. Well, no complaints from me. That's cool as shit. Yeah, I lose. Whatever. Cool. That was awesome. Whatever. Wow. No, that was sweet. Obviously, we want to try to go for it the next turn, but that was cool. What was that? Small creature combo? Okay, let's see. I think we're already, like, we don't board. We're already set up for them. That was sick. We just got hit with the 2020. This hand's not going to do it. If we lose this one, it's whatever. Like, that was impressive. I thought we were for sure had another turn to set stuff up, and we just got killed. We got murked. It's cool. Like, not upset. That was so sweet. Alright, they don't have a creature. We're not making a play. There's not pressure. We want to build our hand back up from that mulligan. Because if there's not pressure, that means their hand is just counter magic for days, son. Okay. Now I'm a little bit more likely to cast a Brainstorm. Certainly will take that. I mean, if they have multiple Force of Wills, we don't get through here. But we gotta shoot our shot. You gotta. You just do. Actually... Fair enough. Fair enough, so we probably lose. But hey, we've been doing really well, so we can still play real tough and try to get the 4-1. I don't get too upset when I lose to a combo deck. Everything they did this match was sweet, so, I mean, we'll pay for it, like, whatever. But, like, it's not like it's going to actually be able to pay for it, because, you know... It's just I respect their ability to turn to, especially after they just killed us without an infector. You know what I mean? Like, the pilot clearly knows what they're doing. So I absolutely wanted to go for it there. Like, whatever. I just respect their ability to combo us. It's not a big deal. I wouldn't be surprised if we die this turn. Even if we set up an Echo, which is pretty much our only out at this point, and we don't die, we set up an Echo, them having an infect. Yeah, there we go. Baptized. Through and through, absolutely baptized by our opponent that match. It's cool, whatever. The only games we lost so far, and it was to a very, very clearly competent master of infect. So, no shit's given. Like, whatever. You can't win them all. You cannot win them all. Ugh, that was sweet. Hashtag no salt gang. Like, man, that was dope. That was so cool. So we're 3-1. We're playing for the 4-1. And like I said, like, this has started out great, and there was a lot to take away, and it's really hard to be upset when you get hit by a 20-20 Noble Hierarch. Like, whatever. And we've really pushed it in game 2 as well. Like, we went for ad nauseum with Veil of Summer back up, and hey, they had enough counter magic to stop us, and we're able to set up a clock to kill us only a couple turns after. So they were able to impose their game plan, and we just, it wasn't our match. It just wasn't our match. So no hard feelings, no salt, just keep it moving. And, yeah, so playing for the 4-1, and I gotta be honest, I don't even care if we 3-2. As long as we play well, I'm happy at this point. Whoa, we won a die roll. Holy bejesus. Alright, well, we keep this. It's a little clunky, but only a little bit. I really wish we could imprint Wishclaw onto Chromox. I really do. Merfolk. This matchup could be trouble. That was a great draw, though. I love that card. That's so cool. Oh, interesting. Is this not Merfolk? Is this like some humans deck? We could get wrecked. This means they could be running some type of hand disruption. Okay. I think we're just going to jam another one of these. It would really suck because they're not dropping creatures, right? So their last card in their hand could be a counterspell. So this we can try to set up so we can veil them or even grid them. Okay, so this is like Esper Hate Bearers or something maybe? I don't know. I don't know what this deck is. I'm so out of the loop at this point. Like, I don't know if this is just some fringe shit or if this is like something I should be aware of that I'm just not. We're in good shape right now. Alright. So we're up a game against this unknown monstrosity. We're gonna just give it a little look and see if we can get any info on it, because I'm out of my element. Alright, fair enough. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to want decays. I wouldn't be surprised if we want chain of vapors. Kind of just think we're going to kill the Rite of Flames. We'll see. I would imagine they play Veil. They probably super creature heavy. I would imagine that they probably play Plague Boy, Mr. Plague Legs. So, we'll try this. Yeah, we'll try that. This looks like it has a real chance. Alright, deafening silence. Well, at least we have the chain of vapor. Okay. I would love if they burn counter magic on this right now. Yes! Thank you. That's great. That's outstanding. That's actually really good. Thank you. Thank you. I actually think that's good for us. Okay, okay, okay. Sure. A lot of potential to just get blown out by some creatures that are running. For sure. But we're putting up a fight, so it's okay. Or are they going to bounce this? And cast LED because we can instant speed respond with Dark Rituals into ad nauseam at this point. Now, I have some things that are maybe not worth being worried about, but I am a little worried about. I kind of would like to establish a field of goblins and a grape shot at them this turn, in case they have some sort of creature they can flash in that can give them hexproof, and if they have a creature that they can flash in that will kill the goblins. We might not be able to make that happen. We might have to choose one or the other. And if it's one or the other, I'm leaning towards Grape Shot. Alright, so we're going to stop. Cool. Awesome 4-1, to be honest with you. Our only match loss was to Infect. It was really cool. Like, it's hard to be upset when the interactions you lose to are just so sweet. In fact, that match was the only one we even lost games to, so only 2 games lost over the entire league. Really strong 4-1. I'm certainly happy with it. Bryant got a good finish with this list recently too, so I think this list is dope. You should try it. Yeah, and then until next time, keep storming.